Is it better? Let me know if it's clearer now.
That's nice. It's a little more
Yeah,
clear.
that's better. That's better. Perfect. So as I was saying, is that Ekival is a money transfer business which started back in 2018. The idea was that myself and a few other members of the diaspora from Congo were having issues both receiving and sending funds to Congo. How does it work? Is that when you have a business across border, you have an income. In Africa, you will lend, let's say you have like 1,000 a month, for example, that you, in my case, I may use or just have receive on a monthly basis, which sometimes get to use in Congo, but sometimes or a bit more when I need more, like I kind of need more money. I also withdraw money from Congo and use it here in Canada. And a few of my friends had been noticing that, and they'd been asking me to kind of give money in Congo so that I get the equivalency in Canada. And that's where the name Equival came. It's more like equivalency, égalité. So Equival is more like equivalency, basically. That's where the name came to be. And the idea was that I noticed that the amount of money I was sending back and receiving was sometimes equal. Like when I travel, I'll go, like when you travel, there are limits as to how much you can carry in cash. I'm well aware of that because I always max out that amount depending on the bottleneck. Some countries, when I'm in transit, they give you less cash that you can have in your pocket than others. So sometimes when I see any limit I had to carry, that will be the limit I'll be having back and forth. So I was like, why do I have to take 5,000 in and only to take 5,000 out? Why can't they just talk to each other and sort themselves out so that the 5,000 gets paid wherever it's needed? So I was like, yeah, so this money business is about information. It's about uh, knowing that there's equivalent channel that is coming your way and another equivalent channel, sometimes not so much equivalent, but there is a certain level of intersection in the two channels. So I was like, okay, so let's try and find, based on the internet, because the internet is like the key source of information, let's try and publish offers of both selling and getting funds. And that's where Ekival came to be. I invested a little bit of it just to have an idea as to how it proceeded, learning, getting some consultants, seeing how much it may require for me to start the business. And then I started developing the app back with some dev in India. And then afterwards, back in some other ones in Pakistan, Freelancer, Fiverr were the tools I was using at that time. Just kind of have a sense as to what could be the solution. And there was no clear solution. The main solution I found was that such a solution will always be restricted wherever it is, given that it's really a matter of which nations wants funds in and out. Like each sovereign nation issues money, and by issuing the money, they actually control the flow of the money. It's not a matter of good or bad. It's just a matter of themselves also balancing their books. So you cannot actually basically go in and say, you know what, I need 10,000 US from a bank. Just for the sake of them trying to manage the flow, they may tell you, you know what, for this we need 3 days, or for some other reason, we are just not in position to offer that liquidity because it can affect the perceived value of our currency. So when I learned about the blockchain in 2020, I was like, yeah, so this is the new money. This is like extra money. This is actually closed network money. It's not money which actually will have an impact, given that the other ones, the more the flow, that's what they're managing. With such money on the blockchain, the flow is known, so there's no perception to play with, right? Because there's really no incentive to kind of game information. The information is already available. And I was like, yeah, something like a stablecoin on a blockchain network will do the job, given that wherever that money is, they will kind of know that's where it is. In the case of the Congo, it's kind of funny because we use the dollars, right? It's actually illegal to take the dollars from the Congo and send it anywhere else because there could be a lot of US in the Congo. So it's like, yeah, why is it so? A little wars yesterday, some other wars another time, a little cash coming through those wars, a lot
Taking
of
away their
newbie.
liquidity.
Yeah, a lot of liquidity when there are conflicts. So Congo is awash with some US dollars. And that's why we have this limit where we use mostly US in anything. School fees, like I was mentioning, the school, we get tuition in US. We pay our employees in US. it's like I always use US when I'm in Congo, so it's like just to give you an idea of how expensive it is. And then when we look at Ekival, one of the challenges we were facing, and that's why Mix will also allude to it, was that we also did not actually want to support bad actors. We just wanted to support the small $20 transfers. We wanted something cheap, something easy, accessible, but at the same time, something to which we will not actually be the ones initiating or affecting. As I said, the main goal of Ekival is to share information about the availability of liquidity and letting people sort out their needs. So no money moves from one direction and no money moves from another. They are consumed in their local sphere closed networks. The blockchain on one side, the local currency on the other side, which is no cross-border impact. So the approach we had was to use a non-custodial approach. Again, first of all, blockchain 2020, Cardano 2021, an idea as to how actually a smart contract will work, a lot of Bluetooth and stuff. And then 2021, that's when again with Mix, 2022, we're looking into the concrete application of a P2P network. And as Mix will demonstrate and myself, we kind of got a lot of inspiration from the Binance P2P network, which had been used in the past. And we try to kind of use the Cardano functionalities to make the same user experience on the Cardano blockchain. Very non-custodial from beginning to end. The maker and takers will be the ones actually handling transactions. We have a little addition we added on it. We added some representatives, given that, again, there are two locations, and both locations can be represented by two actors. So in total, you may have up to 4 actors, and that's what we are kind of trying to put in place, so that if I have to give somebody in Congo cash and receive crypto in Canada, then the two people will be exchanging cash will be our both representative of the maker and the taker. So that's Ekival in a nutshell. It's still in need, like not as, when was it? I think it's like maybe 1 week ago, I had to send around like 500 to Congo. Somebody gave me here 500 and they took 500 in Goma. It's like they need Ekival, basically. I think I have the need, I have a request on a at least weekly basis of money needed in Congo. So we welcome Boaz and again welcome Mix. So the goal today was to try and see if we can give a highlight of Ekival, receive questions, but ideally also do a little demo as to how far we have pushed the development of Ekival and what is expected to be new functionalities coming up in the near future.
No, that's great. I mean, if anybody's got any questions, maybe we could do that real quick.
Good.
Just get into it. I'm down to just see what you got, man. I've been very
Merci.
excited.
Perfect. So if I see a chat question in the chat, yeah, no, it's about my low voice, which is hopefully was solved. And so we can go ahead. I don't know if Mix, you have any word to go, or if Boaz yourself, but my proposal was that we use the local host version of Ekival dev and try to process some transactions, both Mix and I or Boaz if you want as well, and we can see and showcase the development of Ekival. Hello, Mix, to you.
Hello, everyone. Yep, we can go for demonstration and maybe questions rise from the whole process. And I don't know how the audience are familiar with P2P trades. It's kind of a very old form of trade. We can say it has started before all these DEX as central exchanges, all of them started. The oldest one was local Bitcoin, but unfortunately they closed that out. So the governments, we don't know whom, they didn't mention, they enforce this P2P marketplace to close, and they said that we are no longer able to provide this service. Although the first P2P, or actually we can say that someone bought a pizza by Bitcoin, was kind of happening as a P2P, trade. But later, some platform came, and so far, the only P2P marketplaces that exist out there are the one that exists in central exchanges, and the one that are outside and they claim they are decentralized. Normally, they are not. They are going to ask you a lot of information. They are going to KYC you for many things. So it is not the pure P2P that has started long ago. So it has changed. So the platform we are going to show you, when I can actually start sharing my screen. Do you see my screen?
Looks good.
Okay. So our platform is going to provide 3 services. One would be the swap. So I'm going to start with the swap, and the one that we haven't developed for now, but I'm going to start with the small ones, and then I'm going to the big ones, which is the marketplace. So the swap is just a simple swap, but it would be available for people who have mobile money, normally at the launch especially. So if you have mobile money in any countries or any network that we are supporting, or we are going to support, you can change your fiat currency, any fiat currency that mobile money network is going to support with any asset that we are going to support. So we do not have any limitation so far. The only limitation that we are estimating that we have, and Shanti can give more insight into that, would be the traditional limitation, from the limitation of the amounts or the currency that we can support. But the asset, we do not have any limitation. It can be ADA, it can be any token, especially it can be stable coin. But the one that, and also the third one would be you directly send money to someone that you don't know, but you want to use Ekival as your escrow. So you want to trust the smart contract, which we, Ekival, do not have any control over it. It's completely non-custodial, permissionless. And you will use this escrow service so that you can exchange fiat currency, any fiat currency with any asset that you like. But the one that we are going to show you now is the marketplace. So the marketplace is, again, if you are familiar with any P2P marketplace out there, namely the Binance, people first create offers. They will normally create offers with the price which is really competitive with the price that you can swap or exchange your fiat or asset in the normal spot marketplace, in any central exchange or decentralized exchange. So that competition can actually be beneficial for the people who want to exchange their money, whether it's asset or fiat. And once the offer is out there, the takers come choose whichever they want from these list of offers and start order, which me and Janti are going to demonstrate. But first, let me connect my wallet. And the wallet that we are going to connect, I'm going to call it a taker, and so Janti is going to be the maker. But the thing is, the only thing that we are going to store from user would be the wallet address. And we can have all sorts of discussion around the security, all the things. But the thing that we already implemented is a scoring system. So user is going to create reputation, And sure, anyone can have several wallets, several accounts. And again, we can't talk about all these things, but let me log in into this. So because I've already logged in and I have I made some tests, you can see, but by the way, we see good rise of ADA price. It's just this is actual number. We are using free service to get the numbers. So we provide these numbers to users so they can know the price they want to, for example, exchange ADA or JET or any token, and they don't feel that they lost, or they lost some money or something. It's going to be beneficial for anyone who wants to be merchant or trade, and of course anyone who wants to exchange their money, get their money. So Janti, did you spin up one?
I did. And remember, the maker I already had your name, but no worries. Let's start, and I will be signing in as Mix. Because we do, when you log in, you can change basically on the dashboard your ID names
Yeah,
and
you can
such.
change if you want. You can go to setting and change username. Change it
Perfect.
to
Yeah.
your username. But I think you have that account as well, that you put your grandma
I
photo
can put it.
as
Yes.
So yeah, Janti made his first account and he put his grandma pictures, that picture for the account of, yeah, that was something sentimental. So yeah, this is the dashboard. People can come and see their overview. I mean, again, we got the inspiration from Binance, and most of the central exchange P2P, which is the most used, almost 90%, about 95% of all the P2P trade are being done in these central exchanges. But there are so many issues with those things. For example, taker and maker, really they are not connected to each other. So they do not really communicate with each other, exchanging KYC documents, etc. And the other thing is Binance has control over the asset you own. We do not. So for example, for creating an offer here, let's say that I'm going to create an offer with ADA and USD. And again, here you can see what is the highest offer. I can go like lower, but remember the number that I just saw in the first place, first page. So I go like 30, something really competitive, because here buy means that buy and sell. I should explain it. Buy and sell means that if I choose buy, it means I have assets, I have ADA, and what I want is fiat currency, and I can choose any fiat currency. And if I choose to create sell offer, it means I have fiat currency and I want assets instead. So that's the idea. And it can be done of course, in both way. But the thing is, if you create these buy offer in Binance, you have to lock the whole amount, the available, let's say that 39, available, let's say I have 10,000 ADA. And you have to lock that. And Binance is the owner of that account. And if something happens, anything, that basically is Binance, Binance is the one that decide what to do with your asset. They can lock it. They can, if any law comes, anything comes, your asset is gone. But here we do not. We do not ask user to lock this amount at the creation of offer. It's just that you create an offer, you pay a fee for creating that offer, for stopping the spam offer, etc. And then you create a limit. It's like, hey, I'm just saying, like, I want to accept any order from 200 to 500. And we will have some limitation at the beginning based on some, that regulation that we know of based on some countries, but fundamentally there is no limitation. You, the user, are the one that define all these limitations. And then you choose the countries that you want to trade with, or you want to say that I want to send this money to that place, so that the takers, especially if it is cash, and if it needs person-to-person trade, they will know what region that they have to choose for the selection of these offer. So I can say like, hey, let's go for Congo, and then I will add these payment methods. These are the available mobile money payment methods. Actually, there are more, around 140 something mobile money networks exist in whole Africa continent. And of course, the most places that use mobile money are Africa continent and South Asia. There are other places as well, but mostly it's going to be that. And for first, we are going to target Africa. So I'm going to choose any of these, and this is the test. We are not supporting now. We are going to support one by one once we launch for the mainnet. And let's say I'm going to choose like Vodafone, and then I will provide the account that the name that that user needs to send the fiat to me, because I have asset, that person has a fiat. So, and then I can go and say that my name is Next, mobile number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and let's double line, and then email, let's say gmail.com, and the location, for example, Goma. And then I can say that yeah, you can contact me on WhatsApp as well. WhatsApp. And do I need KYC or not? I can say, yeah, I want KYC. And that person needs to provide the documents to me, not to Ekival. We do not hold or store any of these information. And then there will be there is a chat that you can exchange all this information. And then I click publish, and I can see, yeah, and for the test, the fee is 25 ADA. And once I confirm it, I can see, okay, then my offer is created. And if I go back to the dashboard, anyone can now see that, yeah, there is an offer with 10,000 ADA available. The limit is between 200 and 500. And the price is 39, like based on some of the other numbers, it shows that how much it is competitive with other prices, like 61%. And here, as I showed you, again, we took this approach of Binance and other P2P, that there is the percentage of completion, the order, and you can click on the user to see how many offers it's available for them, all the how long they are off, how long they are working. You can follow them and of course report them if something happens. So we have planned for giving rewards for good behavior and being good merchant. So and here now we need a take maker. I just made this as a taker.
Yeah.
I can change the name. So now Gentil is going to act as the maker. Let me change this to maker. And now Gentil is going to, I think, share his screen to show you. Can we both share a screen? Is it possible to do that?
Maybe not.
To share a screen, or it has to?
You cannot share side by side. I'll share. and
Okay,
see what.
so if it is possible for you, share your screen.
Yes.
That I can go with maker as well. Like I have it is ready to act as a maker. Sorry, as to act as a taker.
Sorry, yes, just to clarify, Mix,
We
you are
can change that.
Sorry.
sorry, Mix, just to clarify, you are the
Sure.
sender, right? In this transaction, you are the sender and Genti is the receiver.
I am the sender of assets.
Of
You know,
us.
in sell and buy, you need to define, I mean, you can be both sender. So you are sending asset or you can send fiat. So anyone here are sender and anyone, all person are receiver. But based on the offer, based on the, the nature of the offer, it defines what you are sending and what you're receiving. Here, actually, you can see it. If I just connect this wallet,
And you can see that when I logged in, the offer was not yet there. But then we
but if
will
I
be.
just refresh, you can see, yeah,
Yes, if I refresh.
Hey, guys, I just want you to know, I just turned on multiple participants can share simultaneously, so.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
So,
okay.
Janti, would you
In this
please
case, let's see, let's go back.
So if anyone like as a taker come and click, okay, I want to buy ADA. It says that I mean you have to make your, or I mean the orders is the limitation between 200 to 500. If I say like, okay, I'm going to send like 350, it will be, yeah, I am the sender of fiat and I am a receiver of the asset. And at the same time, the person who make this offer is going to be the one that receive the fiat and send the ADA. So sending that asset is going to be done by the contract, and I'm going to tell you how it's going to be done. But the fiat, of course, is going to happen outside. But we are working on the way to confirm that, to verify that. So we don't want that much of trust, people like trusting so much to each other, because like how these marketplaces are working, normally people are not really trusting at each other. They are traders, and if they trust each other, they can send and receive these money outside of Ekival. So we don't want to just enforce people to trust each other. So for that, once I, as a, by the way, Janti,
Can you see my screen?
let me, I think if I just,
Because I'm sharing now.
do you guys see Janti's screen at the same time or no?
I think
No, I don't see it.
that's your screen. Maybe if you.
Oh, yeah?
Do you
Okay.
see any message?
Okay, let me see. It says I'm sharing
each of
the
us
screen.
in them,
Yeah.
but for the recording, I think each person has to unshare in order for it to be what we see.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay.
So we have to unshare first, huh?
I have to unshare first.
I think so for the recording part.
Okay. So in this case, it's only one by one, huh? Perfect. No worries. Mix, maybe unshare and then stop sharing, and then let's see if mine pops up.
Yeah, yours pops up.
Oh, you see, so I was basically behind you.
Yeah.
In any case, you can see that I'm having another profile who is the maker, and I can already see the offer, the offer that Mix created as a maker. And then from here, I can basically also go in and offer to buy ADA. In this case, it's through mobile money. He is asking for a minimum of 200 and a maximum of 500. The KYC, we kind of brought it up because we know that in the future, we may have not only the need to collect KYC, like an update of your picture, your ID, but also we may involve agents who provide liquidity, who will act as individual giving out liquidity regardless of their blockchain needs. Like there will be them collecting the KYC information the users on the platform, and then they will be uploading those files. So once I see this offer, I can make an order. I can look at who I'm dealing with. They have completed 2 orders. They have 100% compliance and some likes. We'll see how social capital will be built up on this application. And then once this is completed, some little typos in English, given that we are mostly going through the development of the functionalities. And then from here, I can put in a max offer of $500, for which I'll be getting to 1,200 ADA and a fee of 9.6, which again will be in our case in ADA. And when we buy, I can write a message to Ali to tell him that reaching out to exchange details and so on and so forth. And then once that functionality has been sent, Mix will be getting the pop-up email. The functionality is not yet live, but we have all the background details to how to proceed. However, what I want you to focus on is on once I send a trade request, with this information, I already know how to reach him. So mobile money, I have the contacts here. I can basically copy it and on my phone, make the transaction. And then I'm going to send the trade request.
But Jonty, before, okay, no. The one thing that I wanted to talk about is the collateral. So for the smart contract works, I mean, we designed that after talking with Jonty and all that. Like we spent some really long time researching about that. And since the whole contract is non-custodial permissionless, at that stage you just saw is the send trade request. There is no blockchain interaction or action. It is just sending a request to me as a maker, and I can accept it or deny it. But once I accept it, I have to lock that amount, which is that 1,282 and some Lovelace, into contract plus the collateral, which is normally 10%. This is like universal rule for all the order, but in future we are going to change that. But it is possible to change that. So the collateral act as a guarantee for that, again, the behavior. And so if the users go into the trade, so one person missed the deadline or cancel the trade on notice or without, some agreement or mutual agreement, that person has to pay a fee. And the fee is going to be reduced and deduct from this collateral. So, and of course, if a dispute happens, something happen in future, that dispute, there will be a penalty, with a fee for that dispute, and that again is going to be reduced and deduct from that collateral. So once these users start to trade, they can be sure that there are mechanisms that these trades are going to be done successfully without issue. Based on the research some other organization has done, almost 98% of the trades done in completion without any problem. Some of them, I mean, from that 2%, most of them get canceled, and very few, very small amount of that percentage would be the dispute. But again, because of that system that we say that it's non-custodial, we don't want to trust. It's verify all sort of thing that the blockchain provide us. These collateral exist to guarantee and to ensure taker and maker that if something happen, there will be consequences. So even though you have any fiats, in order to start a trade or finish a trade, you have to have almost 10% asset. Like in this case, ADA. And how you can, well, let's say that some people do not have asset at all, but they can use other services that our platform provide. You can use swap, maybe in future, hopefully we can integrate all sort of, web money payments like PayPal, etc., that you can buy all these things. But because of that nature that we say, like, non-custodial blockchain, a smart contract needs to regulate this thing, not us. We had to take this collateral. So if you have any question, sure. If you have any doubts or something, please share about this process. But now the thing is, taker with Janti send a trade request to me. So I'm going to share my screen and to show you how does it look like. So I can come back to dashboard. I can show there are notification. I can see all these notification happening right now. But sure, by the way, all this UI UX is going to change and it's going to be more beautiful. And I should say only one person is working on the whole UI UX. So just that. Please don't don't be harsh to us. So I can come to the trade and come to my order and see that I have someone said, hey, I awaiting maker accept a trade request, which is me, and I'm this trade is still waiting for my acceptance. So I can click on it and I can see here there is this person wants to make an order with me, all the stuff, and of course the chat. And if I want to do that, I will click start trade. Here, because we don't have blockchain integration, and the reason is that we had, but because of Bluetooth version 3 and these libraries that we were using needs to upgrade, still they haven't upgraded. We just have just put click it. But if the person click start trade, here that person needs to lock that amount, which is this asset and the collateral. So now again, I said, okay, let's start a trade, no problem. Now it's the time for the taker, who is Janti, to commit to this order. Let me
So I can go in and share my screen as well again and show what I'm seeing on my end.
And I can cancel now as well. And because the taker hasn't committed, if I cancel now, there will be no charge, or there will be no fee. But if taker commit to this order, now I have to pay a fee. So yeah, that would be the first one, Janti.
So basically I have to accept as a taker. Now we have the status is that the maker has accepted the trade request. Now I can go in and myself commit to the order. And that's when I also have to basically send the amount via the payment chosen. And when I commit to it, then of course I have to give out, once I've sent that amount, I will have like a transaction ID based on the mobile integration, based on the remittance API. Or if it's cash, I can basically tell you, you know what, my code will be the best password.
No. This is the code that I'm going to give you. Let me change that.
Okay, so
this is the code that I, as a maker, is going to give you once
and you will have,
your
I'll paste here.
And I'm going to give you this code. Let me send it in the chat.
Perfect. You have it. Yes, I didn't see it when you were accepting it. So maybe the user did not see it.
Once you commit, then I can see my delivery code, because
Perfect.
you can cancel the order. And I should say, the taker before committing can cancel. Also, I can cancel. The taker and makers here do not pay anything as a fee, but they are going, again, consequences. It will be recorded in their history that they cancel. So you need to be really sure of what you're doing, and all these things will affect your history in our platform.
Yeah.
So
So as Ali said, we have now the delivery order, which
yeah,
is the one
let's
he's
say that you
tested.
send that money to me, and you are going to confirm that you send that money to me. I haven't confirmed it. I'm going to confirm, and here the transaction ID. Hopefully, we are going to confirm it. But this is that's something really challenging for us, because each network has their own agenda. Many things. But in cash, we don't have transaction ID. So with the delivery code, we can sure that you guys have met, like me and Janti have met somewhere, and we exchange the delivery code. So now Janti said that I gave the money to this guy, to me, and now he can confirm it. And all these again, there are blockchain transaction, smart contract are involved. And here, for example, just state of that transaction, that UTXO in the smart contract, it's going to change. Did you you need to put something as a transaction ID as well, Jansi.
Anything?
Anything, yeah, it doesn't matter. For now, we are accepting anything.
The delivery code is what matters for
Yeah, the delivery code needs to be correct. So now now this is the time for me as a maker to confirm the receipt. I should confirm that I received that money at fiat currency.
Yeah.
But
And before he
here,
confirms, I can dispute.
yeah, and there might be so many reasons for disputes, like delay for the confirmation, and many things can. But for example, that person says that, hey, I sent the money, by the way, you can see my screen. If I just refresh it, it will be, just I automatically am here. And also I can say, no, I didn't receive the money, something was wrong, and I started dispute. And dispute, it's going to be whole process of the it's on. We don't go into that for now. If you want, we can. But let's say that, yeah, I received. And so once I complete, I will receive my collateral, the 10%. The Janti will receive that collateral plus the amount automatically to the wallets that sign here, the wallet that sign here, and we use it for all the thing. So once I complete it, I can say, yeah, thank you. It is just completed. And Janti now, if he refresh that page, can see that now Janti can give me a score, positive, negative, anything. And then this would be the normal trade of that P2P. So if you just refresh it, the order is complete, congratulations. And now he can give me negative or positive, and it will affect my scores, and everyone can see what my scores, like a very small social network. And yeah, that's all. Any question?
I have a small question, Professor Mix. If someone doesn't score, nothing happens, or is it like necessary to score before finishing it?
Well, here is the thing. There might be an offer that needs a score, that you have to reach to a score in order for you to be able to start that order. So you have to score, but like for positive or negative. And if that person do not provide anything, we are going to assume that was positive. Like if the person doesn't click on positive or negative, we assume, well, trade was completed and it was positive. So we will add positive to that maker. And interestingly, we had this discussion before. Maker do not give a reaction or any opinion about this trade. Only taker will provide. So we enforce makers of good behaviors. And here another things. The fee we are going to charge normally would be 0.25 from maker and 0.75 from the taker. So taker is going to pay more. I mean, we did R&D about this thing. And sure, it would be different for different order in future. But I should say, in a platform like Binance, no one pay a fee. The fee for maker and taker is zero now. It was not like that, but now it is zero. But with all those limitations and the risk. So all these fees, all these scoring things are kind of related to each other. So if you have higher score, it means, well, you are a good trader. And there will be a mechanism to reduce that fee. And if you be a bad player, you have to pay more fee. So yeah, Steve.
So is it possible then for that person to export that reputation on Ekival and use it some other way?
Good point.
Right now, yeah, good point. But right now, no. The scoring system right now is just an off-chain, something in a database, but definitely it can be done. Like, for example, we can integrate it with the system that you all know and love, Andamio, and the whole access token, the whole reputation that the person can get there will affect the person credibility in Ekival. And there are other reputation score system out there. The one that so far, I mean, I honestly haven't researched for past 6 months, but the one that I researched, if I remember correctly, it was the last one was April. They're all of them mostly off chain. The thing that they store on chain is not really usable. Like the small contract will not understand what is this scoring, like what is actual happening. So someone outside centralized has to provide that reputation for Ekival for us. But something like Andamio, everything is on chain. Or hopefully in future there will be more network that provide these scoring on their network on chain. Or maybe once we launch everything and everything's finished, we will start to use, or we will implement an on-chain credibility scores as well. But for now, it's just off-chain. It's just a bunch of numbers in a database.
Maybe I'm naive, Max, and tell me if I'm being naive, but I mean, you've got the access there to whoever's got a wallet, right? And so you could just drop them an NFT with upgradable metadata, right? I mean, that would be the idea, wouldn't it?
It can be, but again, the one that I want really looking forward is the one that has smart contract understands. So all those reputation must be on the datum, not on the metadata. Because again, that metadata is something off-chain solution is to read it, deserialize it, make sense of those parameters, variable in that metadata and tell you what does that mean or that metadata means. But if it is on the datum, a smart contract can access it. So for example, in all this non-custodial thing, we can put these in the smart contract, say, hey, if this user is in different tiers, if we have these scoring and if we want to put him in the tiers, diamonds, gold, platinum, etc. Then a smart contract does this, reduce this fee based on this percentage, do that. I personally, of course, Janti was the same vision with me. We really want to push the whole non-custodial things. Like we don't want to decide a small contract. There are limitations, absolutely. We have limitation of the transaction, Cardano, smart contract, UTXO. We don't have a really good way of telling the smart contract the whole blockchain state or context. So there are limitations, but we can. And the good news is Bluetooth version 3 provides two different contracts, voting and proposal. Sure, those contracts are meant for something else, but we have this idea of using them for this. So there might be even governance over all these things. And again, metadata in a voting or proposal contract, as far as I know for now, means nothing yet because they have no access, all these they have no access of that metadata. Maybe in future we have a CIP to replicate what is in metadata in the datum, but if if that project does that, but if they don't do that, well, still we have to trust those others projects.
So, but then, so then that data is just in one spot on the blockchain that you would always have to refer back to, right?
Yeah. And the thing is, all these, like once the order starts, they don't really need us or front end to interact with a smart contract or all doing all these steps. They can do it in their Cardano CLI. There is a UTXO, there is a smart contract, states are visible, everything from the fees, from the address of the participant, from the variables that we calculate all these fees, and even the penalties like dispute fee or I don't know, a cancellation fee, etc. Everything will be visible on that datum. So any other project can actually verify what's going to happen if something happens. And the state of that trade also was visible on that UTXO, on that data. And the smart contract use all these things for all sort of validation and calculation, but anyone can read that, and they don't need Ekival. So one thing that maybe you guys have noticed, you can interact with some contracts with Eternal Wallet. There are these things that they are trying to do that. So we had this idea. We would love actually to implement that you don't need to come to Ekival to do these P2P trades or I don't know, continuing. You can just use Eternal. You can use your own wallet. Because it's the UTXO out there, everything with that smart contract, your wallet should be able to do it without us. So you don't need our front end even. And we, as Ekival, can read that same blockchain and see what's going on. And we update everything on our front end as well.
So Janti's just typed in the chat that he needs to jump off. Really
Thank you.
appreciate
You're
your
in good
time.
hands with Mix. Hope to see you another time.
Yeah, I look forward to next time.
Let's see.
This is
Thank you
great.
for
Great
coming.
start. I got to jump off too, guys, to another call, but congrats on getting the season started.
Okay,
Talk soon.
Thank you.
thanks. Take care. So is that, I'm sorry, I'm just
No problem.
thinking
No
about
problem.
this reputation, like I don't think about reputation that much. I try to live without a reputation. So it's kind of, like a thing for me I have to try to step into the idea of reputation and everything being also an accounting of, your ability to transact successfully.
Yeah.
so that's a lot cheaper to do that. So that, you know, like whatever that information is, to keep that in the datum.
For now, yes. Fortunately, yes. Some
Just doesn't, you know,
transactions.
like I've been in all these conversations recently about infrastructure, you know, like Dandelion
Yeah.
and all this shit. And so like I'm just that querying the chain is kind of like, I mean, it doesn't really matter if you're querying about an NFT, you know, the content on an NFT metadata.
Yeah.
Or the datum in a smart contract. You know, the record of a smart contract.
For example, Oracles.
But
Oracles.
but okay, here's I guess this is what's bothered me about it. Who keeps track of that, right? You know, like what keeps track of that for that dude? You know, that guy that's actually got some reputation information available.
Right
Who has
now,
that?
right now it's just us, a project or backend database. You know, we are tracking all the status changes, you know, interaction, tension, even if it happen. But I hope, I mean, the one that actually Janti told me, and we didn't think of the whole reputation. We leaned towards Attila Prism for a very long time. And in fact, there was a proposal from Fund 6 from Janti to integrate Attila Prism in our platform in Ekival. And there was all sort of promise and all that we are going to do that, we are going to put it on chain. But for whatever reason, not only they weren't able to provide that solution, Catalyst team, actually Janti contacted them, Catalyst, and say that what should I do? I mean, we want to do this and they are not doing that. And Catalyst said, you know what, let's close it, keep the money. Keep the money, and it's for you, it's yours, no problem. Attila Prism couldn't provide that solution, so that's all.
Well,
So we would love a project to do that, to just be an oracle. Because you know the thing is, we face this, maybe I don't want to call it issue, but we face this situation. There are two peoples around the world. One exists in a country, another exists in another country, completely different, with different rules and regulation, etc. They do not know each other, but they want to trade with each other. So we cannot enforce them to build trust. So I should say that reputation here is not to give you trust or false sense of trust even. It's going to give you the likeliness of that trade is going to happen what. Otherwise, we wouldn't put that collateral again. Like we could have said, yeah, there is, I mean, we discussed again, even the person has high reputation. Everyone knows this guy. It's around 1 year of history of great trades. Still, a person needs to provide a collateral to a smart contract. Because sure, if you want to trust that person, maybe you have contacted that guy with WhatsApp, anything, chat, there is a problem for us. In fact, if you build the trust with that person, you will never use Ekival again because you can contact him, you know, it's peer-to-peer, right? Once you build that trust, once you trust that reputation, you don't need Ekival. You can contact him from any other place. But that place is not for the people who do not trust the other people that they want to trade with, whether they have the fiat or assets. So that reputation is going to just give you some hints, just likeliness, possibilities. It's not going to give you trust. But if there is a platform to provide that, great, but still we haven't found that. So yeah.
But
Maybe
Professor Max,
sure.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
I'm just curious. So even if two people build trust and they want to exchange outside of Ekival, Ekival still provides the fact that they have to show the receipt and also that they can dispute it. Like if you do it outside of Ekival, I feel like both of these won't be possible, no?
If they build the trust, well, they have to be really, mindful of all these possibilities, because they are using the something else. Like if they use a smart contract, equivalent smart contract, sure, we are going to provide the support for dispute cancellation, etc. But if they don't want to do that, well, that's up to them. For now, we do not have a escrow service or escrow contract that they can use without us. By us, I mean, for example, they can use that smart contract. There are no fee for Ekival. They can just exchange anything they want, and that's all. Already, these escrow contracts exist out there. In fact, Maestro, there is this marketplace for a smart contract. All sort of really good, great smart contract for escrow contract exists. And I still don't know anyone made a front or made at least a UI over that smart contract. So you can't use that. You don't need to pay fee to anyone. Just contact that. That would be great. But if you fear of dispute, if you still have that if I send them money, the fiat, for example, maybe that person do not send that asset to me, or like other hand, that person say same thing. You need to use escrow service, and what we are providing is this guy. And we are not just providing a small contract, we are providing off-chain services as well, from the validation of that transaction ID you just saw, or delivery code, which is the simplest things that a platform can does, till to the dispute, the support, that whole marketplace things. You can find, you can choose which trade you want, etc. It would be up to you. But if
Got
you have
it.
built the trust, well, we can. If that trust is really trust.
And so I have one other question, specifically with acceptance. First, the maker has to accept it, and then the taker has to accept it. What do you think would happen if that step is skipped and directly, like, they provide the receipt number or the transaction ID or something? What do you think would be the problem?
They can do it. There are no problems. We cannot know it because we do not store, like we do not really store the chat, all sorts of things to go through, or what you are doing. In fact, as you just saw, you can provide that in that terms and condition, or that remarks something about the WhatsApp, like, hey, contact me on my WhatsApp or Telegram or any other platform for communication. So you don't even have to use or chat system. And again, if those people really trust each other, they do not use Ekival. If they just go with the outside platform just by talking, somehow they trust that if I send this ADA to this guy, or if I send the money to this account of this person, he will send me back the money he owes to me, or he or she owes to me. Good, great, you can go. There is no one is stopping you, and there are no way to stop you, even in Binance, even in any other P2P marketplaces. There are no ways to stop you. But the whole point of here is that we want to connect the people that they do not know each other, but they are providing ways to contact and trade with each other, and they do not want to trust Ekival again. So we do not ask them to trust us, and they want to trust the code. And we are going to open source the whole code as well. And I have this idea that not just open sourcing, but even explaining the code, so that, well, it's Haskell written, well, how many people are going to understand that. And the next stage, actually, I was thinking, maybe some people will have some issue in regards to being tracked by all these UTXO wallets, etc. And all these authorities, governments might cause a problem for us, for them, So we are going to have. I mean, this is the next version that we have hope for. Each trade, each order will have its own special contract. It's going to just spin up one contract with different addresses. Everything will be hard-coded in that contract, and this contract will be theirs and only theirs. And once the order is done, that contract is going to be like everyone forget about it forever. So even the contract, you don't need to trust the individual, and we will show you. Like we will give. I mean, that's the idea for me. We will provide that button that you click on that. You can read the contract, and we are still thinking about should we do it with Marlowe or ACAN. But anyway, we can read that contract before the submission, before the starting. Again, that's the whole thing. You want to start a trade with the people you don't know, or you don't fully know. Even maybe you know this guy, you have traded with several times with this person, but the amount is high enough. Therefore, the risk is high enough to use our platform. But if you know each other, if you built that trust, I don't know, maybe you became really friend, you are all of you, like you just happen to know each other, going to same school, I don't know, living in the same street or something. Okay, good for you. Congratulations. No problem. You can go and do whatever you want with that person.
Do you think you don't need, this is just a smart contract out there existing. You don't really need any infrastructure for this, do you?
No, for now, the only infrastructure we need is this damn library as an update for Pultus version 3. And in fact, anyone, and actually you can interact with the same smart contract right now with Cardano CLI. So you can start the trade here in, for example, Ekival. I mean, you send the request, that maker accept it, and then there is this commit. Even that step can be done with Cardano CLI right now. And the completion event, the completion of the whole trade can be done with Cardano CLI. The cancellation can be done with Cardano CLI, but the dispute, because that dispute needs or interfere of like trade, and we should like they are asking us to be the judge of something. We thought about sending off the whole trade to another contract for whole, calculation, etc. But we found a way to put it in the same contract. But the thing is that dispute is going to be a multi-sig transaction. So we as an Ekival needs to sign it. So there will be only two outcomes from this dispute. Taker wins or maker wins. So taker get the money or maker doesn't get the money, for example. And we just sign that transaction. Even Ekival cannot define the destination. Ekival just sign it. So it needs the taker or maker signature as well. So it is not like up to us, Ekival, to send that or resolve that. We just confirm that there is this result. There is this action happen. And once this action happen, the destination of the funds, all the calculation again, and how much should go to the maker, to taker, how much would be the fee, the penalty, etc. All of them. It's going to be done with the again smart contract, not by us. We just provide the parameters, like other things. We provide the parameters in the data, and of course redeemer, and then we sign that transaction. So the only place that Ekival interfere usually it has to intervene. I mean, still, again, if there was another project, maybe we could have used their service. But for the dispute, they are asking us to interfere, to just come and ask, like, what's going on. And it's whole process. Actually, let me see that I can I show you that there is this discussion happening. They need to provide let me see, can I no, I don't think so. But there is this whole conversation. Again, we took that from other P2P marketplace, how they resolve, how they do the dispute. Let me show you. And by the way, we can talk about the whole trade, buy and sell. Again, regards to that receive and sender receiver, Sebastian asked. Here, buyer is the taker, seller is the maker, is token holder, fiat holder, and all these steps. And the yellow one is just, you know, the front end, but the blue greenish one are the smart contract. And here in the sell, token or seller is the taken, token holder, and buyer is the fiat holder. And we are supporting both ways. We can talk about it, but about the dispute, how Binance is handling. So here is the last step of that Binance trade. If you say like transfer, great. If not, you can say, okay, dispute. And once you say dispute, you will move to here to provide, like here, there is a talk. You will start chatting with the Binance support. And then, yeah, I have this problem. But before that, there are all these things. And we recommend them go and talk with that person to resolve it without us, because there will be fee, and you are not, we cannot say guarantee you who made the dispute actually wins the dispute. So go and make that things clear with that other person, other party. Same thing, we send the notification to make it take care. But if still that person insists, we receive all the proof, for example, I don't know, some screenshot from the transaction, or you know, some notes that the person signed, etc. And then it goes to the resolution of that dispute. And here again, it can end up in two ways. Here, cancel the appeals, no problem. Okay, we resolve that. Cancel it, no problem. There will be no consequences regards to reputation. We talk about that maybe in future we do, but after the talk we had, you know, maybe there is a misunderstanding. So why giving people consequences? But then cancellation, same thing, just complete the trade. That's all. And if the time has passed, either maker and taker actually can extend the time, because the time again is going to record it in that data on a small contract. Right? We cannot change it. We as a Ekival cannot update your order. We cannot extend it. You know, you as a maker or taker have the control. And if the like once the dispute is resolved, here is going to be, you know, all the sending, and you need to click on that. And here at this stage, we Ekival says to the winner that, hey, you won this dispute, and if we call it winning, and that person now needs to click on this button and sign a transaction. But again, signing that transaction is we as Ekival just again doing signature is a multi-sign signature transaction. But the destination, like the amount, things already set by the contract. So again, here, again, I don't know how much trust is going to be here, but based on the research that I just shared, around 0.01% of all these trades end up in dispute, especially in Binance. Yeah.
So on the maker side, his offer is open until as long as he wants, and on the
No.
taker side, no.
It is not like that. No, each step.
Oh, you had to, no, you had
24
a
hours.
specific time amount. Yeah, okay, 24 hours. Okay.
24 hours right now. For the launch, we want to know the testing. Like maybe for some steps, just 3 hours, 4 hours. But for now, we just have 24 hours for each step.
Okay.
It's just a very dry division of the time, but it can be sooner, of course. And if that person does not do that action within that hours, he can again extend the time, he or she can extend the time. Now that person needs to pay because, well, he just didn't do his part in that time. If not, that other person can make a dispute case and says that, hey, this guy hasn't done any action, like for example, confirm, remit, or receive, or whatever. And yeah, that person needs to, it will be the winner, and then again, the dispute will be resolved. And maybe again, at this stage, for confirmation, like here, Marsha mentioned, like we send a trade request, and start in trade, and that person does not commit. So if he doesn't commit, here there will be consequences based on the reputation, etc. Because that person hasn't committed, a smart contract does not have any access to the personal usage or fund to deduct or something. We explored the idea of vault or a treasury or something that you put everything that you are going to trade, especially for creating offer in that smart contract. And for example, like 800 JET will be stored in that contract, and from that 800 there will be all these order happening, and like 400, 300, 200 JET will be transferred from that contract to the escrow contract. But that's the question. In Binance, if you look at, I can maybe show you. If you want to make asset or buy order, Binance is going to lock that amount. USDT, BTC, doesn't matter. So if you look at to the available amount, it's got like a 10,000 USD because this amount is locked in this account. Binance is the owner, and if you want to reduce or add it again, you have to prove it. But if we look to the sell, which means I have fiat currency and I want asset, suddenly the numbers goes crazy, sometimes millions of dollar or USDT, because they don't really matter, because here you do not really what is CLP? Let me go for USD. It doesn't really matter how much. It's like 2 million USDT or 1 million something. They do not really store this amount in Binance account. They do not really lock this amount in Binance account and waiting for someone to come and install an order and sell it. It's really stupid. So it's just a number. They just put a number for sale. So we talk to ourselves that why people, of course, can put any number they want for the sell, especially these big numbers. But for buy, they have to put anything or that Binance confirm and been locked, and I don't know. I don't think there is a smart contract that is going to be lock all these amounts. It's just a number in Binance. So we said that, well, let's treat them same. If there is if a user cannot trust this number in Cell, it's like 2 million USDT, 1 million something. Of course, that number is not, it is not available really, this amount inside Binance. It's just a promise. So let's, not trust the buy as well. People who have experience with Cell cannot trust these numbers in Cell, just a big number. But they kind of can trust this number because it's locked. And actually, once you do this buy stuff, Binance does the action for you. You do not. You do not confirm, you do not start trade, etc. No. Once you start that whole things, Binance is going to verify, it's going to change, it's going to send that money to that person, it's going to deduct from you. If a dispute happens, again, Binance is going to reduce some money from you, charge you with penalty. But in Ekival, all things are being done by the contract. So that's why we didn't try to say, hey, let's verify one side and not verify the other side. No, we do not verify both. The only thing that verifies the number is going to be locked, or the amount is going to be locked in the contract. But I wonder, do you have experience, guys, with any P2P, like not just Binance, any? Have you exchanged anything?
I don't, and it's weird to me, because, Piotr was working on that one, and I think he got into some questions he didn't know how to resolve. But it's weird to me that I don't really see peer-to-peer software out there. And I would think it would be more and more useful to people.
Yeah.
Other than this international stuff, people in one country need to get it back to whatever in another country. And I think it would be a lot easier way if I was, like I think about all the people since we moved into this house that have come here and done some work for us, and they're all happy with the check,
Yeah.
And the nice thing now about checks is, like Kelly's got our bank has an app for her phone, and so she can deposit. She just takes pictures of the check and they're deposited, and that's
if you
cool.
want to kind
That's not
of
peer-to-peer.
come out of the, yeah, it is not. You are still using the whole traditional system, kind of.
Yeah.
But that's the thing that who knows, we face issue here. We don't have some time again, some time, maybe in future we will talk about this more. But P2P is really the greatest enemy of the banking system is P2P marketplaces. Not the centralized exchanges, not Bitcoin, not the greatest enemy. I mean, you guys can search about it. The greatest enemy of a banking system is P2P because you are bypassing them and you are contacting that person. So here is the example of local Bitcoin that just sadly, after 10 years of work,
they closed.
They closed and pushed them really hard to close. And these are guys they're very OGs of the whole P2P. And the reason you don't see these P2P out there because there are big guys are stopping, for any P2P to just talk. That's why one of the main reasons that we are focused in Africa, they allow it. They do not really care that much, but who knows in future what will happen. But yeah, the greatest enemy of banking is the people contact with each other, trade, with trust, without trust, doesn't matter. Just bypassing the whole banking system, international, local, anything. So hopefully, go ahead.
American culture is just so it just feels so saturated, right? It's just really hard to get anything to change.
Indeed.
Meaning people don't even think about these concepts.
I mean, CNFT.com before smart contracts was pretty much P2P only, I think.
Mhm. Yeah.
And it was great.
Yeah, it
But
was
they
great,
changed
yeah.
that. They became that centralized place that you kind of trust us, you know. We should verify you. That's the whole royalty. We should verify you.
Yep, yep.
But now, no. I mean, here actually we have decided that you can actually exchange NFT in future as well. And I should say, maybe this is out loud, there will be no royalty here. Because it's not in the datum, it's a metadata, and it's a peer-to-peer. We do not own royalty. We do not care. Sure, if they want royalty, they can go to JPEG, other stores. But in the P2P, actual P2P, it's the oldest trade of human history. Even with animals, we do P2P, just like oldest trade. You do not pay anyone's fee. You just do that with that person.
I've been wanting to go to Louisiana because Louisiana, just like in the last week, they passed a law that you could pay, the state had to accept any form of payment, whether it was digital asset or anything else. You know, if you know, if people in Louisiana want something from the state, then they have to take it in whatever form the buyer wants to give it, the payer. And I'm like, how, you know, like it was, Louisiana was one of these states because they tried to outlaw flea markets.
Yeah.
You know, cash.
Why is that? Why?
They tried to,
What?
but they want to get people off cash so that they can track all these sales, right? Because there's, you know, that's a huge underground market, you know, old used
It is
stuff.
not used. That's the thing. A flea market or P2P marketplace, they're always telling about money laundering, sanctions, funding terrorists, etc. No. If you have time, I just share a link in the chat. If you haven't seen this documentary, please watch. It's about the actual industry of money laundering. The estimate in this documentary says it's actually several years ago, 6 years ago, 6 years, this is the number for 6 years ago, for money laundering, which these empire or of the web of banks and institutions are doing, is 500 trillions of dollars, 500,000 billions dollar yearly, annually. So imagine that amount, 500 trillion of dollar is going in this web of money laundering, tax evasion, all sort of stuff. But once a user, a normal people that they want to buy something with either $1,000 or even 10,000, even 100,000, they have to sign everything. They have to, you know, give their kidney to the government so that they will allow. Why? Because of money laundering. You have to sign like all this KYC, ML, like you are not funding these, or you are paying all your taxes, etc. Just the normal people, the one actually paying the most taxes, the one actually are really lawful citizen. They are not the money launderers. These platforms, even if you assume the whole crypto is money laundering, it cannot get or consume 500 trillions of money laundering money. And this is the money laundering, by the way, not the legitimate money. Is 500 trillion, guys. The whole marketplace, the whole market. I mean, in crypto now with Bitcoin, everything. The token is around 2 trillion. Just the money laundering is 500. I think this amount is for 6 years ago. I don't know, maybe 1,000 now. So anytime you hear about all this money laundering or you are harming the society, I don't know, if you wait the tax or something, you harm the society or government, you are not a patriot, whatever. Really, it's just a bunch of BS because the actual money launderers, the one that really changed the course of the finance, are not using the thing that they are telling you it is money laundering. They are using something like these networks. And by the way, this is for mostly Western countries network. Countries like mine, Russia, China, they have their own networks. And who knows how many billions of dollars they are laundering. So a P2P marketplace, if they say, oh, what if it's going to be used for funding terrorists? Activision. So I can say, yeah, let's do it. Let them do it. It's not going to be that. The terrorist or tax evasion, etc., those people, crypto doesn't have the capacity to accept them. Doesn't have at all. They cannot use Ekival for that because the whole Cardano doesn't have enough money to fund all these, I don't know, terrorists or tax evasion. People are accusing us for that. It doesn't have. We don't have enough token. We don't have enough Bitcoin for that. It is just for limiting the normal folks, the normal people, the ones that they want to say, hey, I don't, but you know what? Why you are taxing me? Why not those guys actually make a difference, their tax? Why are just putting these laws for us? Like, why are putting law over really flea market? Why you are not putting law over all these stupid arts gallery auctions that they are? Everyone knows it's just being used for money laundering. Actually, all these fashion things, it's a bunch of crap, but worth sometimes millions. Why you are not stopping that? Why are stopping flea market as someone just took something out of the farm, come into a market which is again oldest version of trade amongst human. I mean, maybe even nature. And
sometimes I think it's that psychopathic trait, of these people that have to count everything. Like the records that the Nazis kept during World War II, these just endless notebooks of, one horrible thing after another.
And they call it data. They call it data mining, and they hire data science for doing that.
Yeah, and so I think they do this to people, like with flea markets, just to get them in the chute where they can be counted. That's all. It's not that they expect any money from these people. They just want to force that behavior.
Exactly. I heard about even the seeds. And you cannot really, you are not free to buy seeds from anywhere you want. And
well, that's those big companies, Monsanto and the other ones that do that.
So this all about control, and something like peer-to-peer, not just money, anything peer-to-peer is actually the greatest enemy of whole this system. And of course, they put all sort of regulation, other things to just stop you for doing that. And of course, there are consequences, there are laws. I don't know, the criminals, all these things, but. I think crypto is going to change it because we have the ways, not just with money, but with other things as well, like anything that can be tokenized, in fact. But yeah, I don't want to talk about the Ekival is going to give you freedom, etc. I mean, we are not starting revolution or whatever, but an application like that is going to just help normal people to just live as intended to be, with less control. And there will be the control of the whole trades. Sure, there will be consequences. Some people doesn't want that. They used to bank. They used to, they even they got addicted to the system that controlled them. If they do not get this control, they feel fear. uncertainty. They just scream, where is the government? Where is this thing? Please control me. Please do this. Sure, those exist, but for the people that wants to just really start doing a small trade,
I can't
starting.
hear Mix anymore, do y'all?
Sorry, what up? Sebastian, around 15 minutes ago, he said that 3 minutes to go, but I'm sorry,
I
Sebastian.
can't hear you, Mix.
You can you? 1, 2, 3.
Sure,
Can
sure.
you?
We can hear you. Yep.
We can hear you, Max.
They can. Steve,
Well,
they
I
can
don't
hear me.
hear. I see Sebastian talking, but I don't hear him.
1, 2, 3.
No.
Maybe
Yeah.
we talk too much, and
My ears.
Zoom is saying,
Yeah.
okay, guys,
Perfect.
I don't know who is listening, but I love you all. I'm just a loud bit citizen. I'm going to shut down Ekival after this meeting.
Well, that may be the show. I can't hear
But I
anything.
should, by the way, you, Steve, Harsha, Sebastian, you are here. I should say that whoever is watching this, I should say that Ekival wouldn't be possible and actually exist without Gimbalabs. I joined Gimbalabs, and after some time, I saw Janti is doing all these codes by himself, having an idea in the voice channel. If he just was hanging around, that garage that we used to have. And then I joined him, talk about it, and I got interested, and here we are. So thank you all, really. Thank you for all the opportunity Gimbalabs provided for me, Janti, and hopefully this application becomes something useful to people and to our community. So thank you for listening, and if you have any question. I do not hear you, Steve, if you...
Okay.
Okay.
Steve, I don't know. Maybe I have some problems with the sound. Yeah, thanks a lot for coming. Mix, I mean,
Thank you,
Mix.
Sebastian. Thank you, Harsha.
Thanks a lot, and thanks.
Thank you, Professor Max.
Steve joined again.
Yeah.
Can you hear us, Steve?
Okay, I can now.
Okay. I don't know what happened, but we were suspecting the people who are listening, recording these things might didn't like what we were talking about. So
Yeah,
because
well,
Zoom is free, and in economy we don't have a free lunch. So yeah, maybe we talk something about now and you suddenly see it in your Instagram feed and something in your Gmail. Yep, that's a reality, unfortunately. We are being collected. Anyway, thank you, Steve. I was saying that thank you for creating and facilitating not just this session, but the whole Gimbalabs, because Ekival wouldn't exist without Gimbalabs. And I was just sharing how I met Janti in Gimbalabs voice channel, and he was just working on the Ekival, like very first version of the smart contract. So yeah, I just wanted to say that I appreciate of this community, and hopefully we can return this favor to community, back to the community.
I'm excited about the future. I think we all have a lot to look forward to. So I'm really glad you came today. It's great to see your progress.
Thank you. Hopefully, or very soon, we will ask you guys to help us to gather, or I don't know, to be your first beta user for this platform and sharing your experience with us.
Yeah, hopefully. That'd be great.
Great.
All right. Thanks,
See you
Harsha.
guys.
Thanks, Sebastian. Thanks, Max. See you guys soon.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye. Take care.
Bye.